Welcome back to USA Car Reviews. Today we're diving into one of the most iconic luxury cars of the late 70s, the 1979 Lincoln Continental Mark V. This car wasn't just a means of transportation, it was a rolling statement of style, class, and American excess, and even decades later it still commands attention wherever it goes. The Mark V was the last of the great personal luxury coupes from Lincoln. Built on the Ford Panther platform, it was longer, lower, and wider than most cars on the road at the time. In fact, the Lincoln Continental Mark V was famous for its sheer size, stretching over 230 inches in length. That meant when you pulled up in one of these, people noticed right away. The proportions alone gave it presence. From the sharp-edged fenders to the long hood and short deck design, everything about this car screamed luxury in a way that only 1970s American cars could. Up front, you had the signature Lincoln grille. Tall, narrow, and chrome-plated, it gave the car a bold face. Rectangular headlights were neatly hidden behind flip-up covers, and the hood seemed to stretch out forever. The styling was squared off but elegant, with clean body lines running the length of the car. On the sides, opera windows were a classic Mark V touch, adding a distinctive luxury detail that set it apart from the competition. Around back, the rear carried the Lincoln Continental's trademark spare tire hump on the deck lid, a styling element that had become instantly recognizable. Add in those horizontal tail lights and chrome bumper, and you had a car that was unmistakable from every angle. But the Mark V wasn't just about looks. Inside, it delivered the kind of comfort that people expected from Lincoln. Step inside and you were greeted with plush seating, thick carpets, wood grain trim, and more chrome details. It was the kind of cabin where you could sink into the seats and feel like you were sitting in your living room while gliding down the highway. The dash layout was clean and symmetrical, with big gauges and simple controls. You could order the car with power everything, power windows, power locks, even a power antenna. For 1979, that was cutting-edge convenience. Under the hood, the Lincoln Continental Mark V came with big block power. Standard was the 400 cubic inch V8, but you could also get the larger 460 cubic inch V8. These engines weren't about raw speed, they were about effortless cruising. With a smooth 3-speed automatic transmission, the Mark V delivered the kind of quiet, steady performance that made long-distance driving a breeze. On the open road, the car floated like a yacht. The suspension soaked up bumps with ease, and the cabin stayed quiet, isolated from the outside world. That ride quality was a hallmark of Lincoln, and the Mark V perfected it. The 1979 model year was significant because it marked the end of an era. After this, the Mark VI would arrive, smaller, lighter, and more fuel-efficient to meet new government regulations. But the Mark V was the last of the true land yachts, big, bold, and unapologetically luxurious. It symbolized everything about American car culture in the 70s, when size and style mattered more than efficiency. Collectors today still love the Mark V for those reasons. It's a piece of rolling history, a car that takes you back to a time when manufacturers weren't afraid to go big. And the fact that it came with so many trim options, including designer editions by Bill Blass, Cartier, Givenchy, and Pucci, makes it even more special. These designer series cars had unique color schemes, special interior trims, and exclusive details, making them some of the most desirable examples today. Driving a Lincoln Continental Mark V today is a unique experience. Sure, it might not handle like a modern sports car, and gas mileage isn't anything to brag about, but that's not the point. The point is presence, comfort, and style. When you're behind the wheel of a Mark V, people look, people point, and people remember. It's a time machine back to the golden age of American luxury cars. That's why the 1979 Lincoln Continental Mark V still matters. It's a car that represented success, taste, and the pinnacle of 70s design. For many enthusiasts, it's the ultimate classic Lincoln. Here at USA Car Reviews, we celebrate cars like this not just for what they were, but for what they still mean today, symbols of an era when automobiles had character, individuality, and soul. Thanks for watching USA Car Reviews. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1979 Lincoln Continental Mark V, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow car enthusiasts. Until next time, keep your engines running and your classics shining.